it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. Why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high for the glory. We do it for the glory. Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory.
Thank you for allowing us to be part of your family. This is Joe Bloomstrom and Lori Bloomstrom, and behind us here is a picture of our son Paul, who is part of the sim racing family, and it's just so cool that you're allowing us to be a part of this, and we really appreciate you thinking of Paul the way you do.
We just wanted to thank you guys. We are so grateful you're doing this in Paul's honor. He really loves this community, and we are hoping that we can raise some funds for St. Jude's charity. We have a special place in our hearts for St. Jude's. They help kids, and we are really grateful.
Paul loved you guys. We miss him terribly. He was a great son, great guy, and made friends all over the world, including all of you. Thank you so much.
Paul loved to go fast, and I hope you guys do too. Thank you.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. It's GT45 Gaming at you here, and we are live. So we're just going to knock down some audio a little bit here. All right, so this is the new PC here. This is the official first stream for the new PC here. Of course, donated by the Winner Circle community. So much love to the Winner Circle community. And let's continue pushing for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Foundation here with another great hour-long race. And we're going to break down what we have in store for everybody here in just a few moments. So as you can see, it is round 7 here. This is our pro split lobby here at GT45 Gaming, and we're at Dragon Trail Gardens this week. So a little bit outside of the box when it comes to our track choice here for round 7, and it's a love-hate relationship within the racing community with this racing track, so it should be an interesting race here today, to say the least. And this is a very technical racetrack, as you can see here. So it's all the standard settings here. It's random weather, 3 times fuel and tire for our racers, 9 liters fuel per second refuel rate, and this will warrant a minimum of at least 1 stop this weekend for fuel here in these cars. They will not be able to 1 stop this race, no matter how hard they try. And you can see we're winding down here. We're starting to get in towards the end of the championship season, which means we're getting towards the end of our fundraising effort here in the 2025 season for St. Jude's. We're about a little over a quarter of the way towards our goal here. We have a $2,500 goal set for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And if you want to learn more, just follow the link in the pinned comments here in the YouTube channel. If you're in the Discord server, we have that everywhere. And if you would like to know more information, just ask in the chat. We'll answer it to the best of our ability here. So it is round 7 here. November 23rd at Dragon Trail Gardens, and that means we're heading to Road Atlanta next week. All right, so our track map here, it is a 2.7 mile racetrack, 4.3 kilometers, has 14 left and right hand corners. It is a tarmac surface. It is an original circuit here from Gran Turismo, has an elevation change of 105 feet. And the funny thing about this particular Dragon Trail layout is it can potentially rain here. So rain is not off of our chart here for our racers this week. It is random weather. It is entirely possible that it could happen. Will it happen? It's a very rare occurrence as far as I can tell, but it does not mean that it won't happen. And again, the Vegas Cup Championship Series here. So we're going to take you over and let St. Jude's tell you a little bit about what they're doing right now, and then we'll get down to some more of the finer details of our race here while we wait for our drivers to get into the lobby and settled in here.
Year 400,000 children like Justin develop cancer. If he had been born in the United States, his chances of survival would have been more than 80%. But in his native Ecuador, those chances are much lower. In resource-limited countries, survival rates are below 30%. Where a child lives is the most powerful predictor of whether they will survive cancer. There are many contributing factors to the disparity in pediatric cancer survival rates, including access to life-saving medicines.
So access to quality medications is critical. for the success of any programs at the country level or global. Children cannot survive, cannot have hope without proper access to essential medicines. This has been something that we have identified as a priority.
St. Jude has long been dedicated to improving pediatric health worldwide. Building on our established global ecosystem of collaboration, we are launching a transformative initiative, the Global Platform for Access to Childhood Cancer Medicines.
We are now able to tackle the rare pediatric cancers and make progress against those because we're working as a global community that will allow us to purchase generic drugs and distribute those to low and middle income countries at no cost.
The global platform works by creating a central procurement entity within the World Health Organization, the UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization. Then the governments engage to develop the production and the supply of these medications. And these are the medications that are considered to be critical and required for all children with cancer, wherever they are.
Today, essential cancer medicines are starting to arrive in 6 countries: Ecuador, Zambia, Jordan, Uzbekistan, Nepal, and Mongolia. These medicines, provided at no cost to local institutions, represent the first step in a long-term effort to reach 50 countries and treat more than 120,000 children in 5 to 7 years.
Danny's dream was that no child die in the dawn of life, and he was thinking perhaps about the United States, but I think in the back of his mind he was always thinking of a global landscape. And I see this as the logical direction for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to go and for the entire field of pediatric oncology.
The Global Platform is more than a lifeline for children like Justin facing cancer. It's a foundation for a future where all children have access to life-saving care. By working together, we are building toward our founder's dream that no child should die in the dawn of life, no matter where they're born.
Wow, what an absolutely great organization. It's a pleasure to try to help St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Foundation here as a sim racer and a content creator. So, I mean, with that being said, here's our starting lineup. I mean, what better than some sim racing and sim racing for a cause, right? So, I mean, on behalf of the Bloomstrom family, for Paul, and with the sim racing community by our side, we continue to race for St. Jude. So, our pros lineup here for this round of racing is going to be ATB sitting on pole position with Sheriff Doofy lined up beside him. It will be 1010's Mischievous starting in row number 2 with JP beside her. In row number 3 will be Doug Barrow with Roses beside him. In row number 4 will be 1010's J-Set with Dylan beside him. In row number 5 will be Superboy, last week's race winner, with Jakey in beside him. And in row number 6 will be GT Jersey and RA's Streeter Tom. All right, so that takes care of that portion. Let's get to the rest of it here. So again, our lobby settings here, it is random weather. It is a 1-hour race here today, and we have 12 pros projected to be on track here this afternoon. It is Dragon Trail Gardens, and it is random weather. It is evening time conditions, and it is a 2-time weather variable rate. It is set by host grid order with a grid start false check. There is red flag procedures for these races in case something happens into turns 1 and 2. Mechanical damage is on light. Tires of fuel are at 3 times each, meaning every lap these drivers are using 3 laps worth of fuel and tires. Refueling rate is 9 liters per second, and the drivers start with a full tank of fuel here as per normal. And penalties are our normal basis. Our shortcut penalties are on weak. Our flag rules are on. Our pit lane penalties are also on, and it is MR only Group 3 cars here this season. So let's get some game audio flip on here for you guys, and let's go see what's happening on track. Why is that still up? There we go. I hit the wrong button. Alright, currently it looks like we've got 9 of our 12. We got Tom, we got Jay, we got Mischievous, we got Dylan, we got Sheriff, we got Doug, ATB, Super Jake. We're missing Jersey, JP, to somebody. Having a little bit of a let's go up on the screen here. Oh, we're missing roses. Alright, so, I mean, we're going to allot a couple extra minutes here for our racers. So let's go on. Oops. Go over. Okay. Let me know how the audio is. If I need to go up or the game needs to go up, just let me know what needs to be tweaked and we'll make the adjustments. And then the audio setup we're running on the stream since we've got the new streaming PC, so probably some tweaking that we still need to do to get just right. But please do let me know. I can fix it on the fly while we're live if there's minor adjustments. So if it's a major adjustment, we'll have to wait till after the live stream. But for balancing our audio out, we can do that on the fly here today. So definitely let us know. A little more of a streamlined system here now in the setup we got right now. So hopefully the broadcast will be a lot less focused on getting the broadcast working and more focused on the racing at hand. And I'm excited about that. So we're excited to get out some great content here. We're going to get the drivers a few more minutes and we're going to come back in the second race here. One of our drivers is just coming from another championship race. Should be here. And see if the other two show up here. Never mind. That answers my question. Alright. I got the Final Fantasy Ferrari here. That's different. I like that. The kids, the guys and the girls have brought in some pretty good retro cartoons and some of their favorite anime from back in the past, but now we're giving them some retro video games. That's pretty awesome. We've seen, I think, a Pac-Man movie this season as well. Now we got Final Fantasy on the track. So really big shout out to the racers paying homage to the old school favorites of their childhood or their teenage years or even their 20s in some of our cases. Usually very mixed. We have drivers that are from 15 years old all the way up into their 60s here in the championship this year as well through our 3 divisions. So sim racing is literally for everyone. We've been trying to urge the younger generation, our youth, to get more involved in sim racing. We'd love to throw a junior championship here at GT45 Gaming, but we need to have at least 16 youth available to do so. And youth can be from 10 years old all the way up to 18 years old of age, right? So or younger, they're more than capable of racing. I see videos on that all the time. Kids are like 4 and 5 years old just shredding on the racetrack. So they're definitely lots of sim racing kids out there, so it would be something that would be fun. Seeing the upcoming talent throwing it all over the line in sim racing. Alright, so again, please do let me know on the audio balance, because I can't hear the stream while I'm streaming, because that totally messes with you. So we'll rewatch it back later, but if something seems off, please let me know. Checking in from South Dakota, hashtag Vegas Paul, hashtag Blundstrom. How's it going, Rebecca? Hope you're doing fantastic. In case you guys haven't seen as well, we raced 24 hours of Spa a couple weekends ago for St. Jude's here at 1010 Sim Racing as well. All that is on the live stream as well. We brought full racing coverage from the IRO for the race as well, and It was a crazy race. It was a crazy race. It was a mixture of rain and dry conditions, and it was tough conditions out there for that 24-hour race. But we continue to push here, and we'll have our race here today, and then we're going to bring some different content out here a little later this evening as well. We're going to continue to raise money for the Children's Foundation from St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They're doing incredible things, and I mean, all we really got to do is take a look at our own backyard and take a look at our own households and our own families, right? We all have kids. We all, no matter how much we don't want to think about it, we all could end up in that situation, right? So just imagine the families out there that are unable financially to be there and support and pay for all of this stuff that costs so much money to just help your child. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Foundation does that, and it does that for the family as well as the child. So it's an important foundation, and not only has it been a vital children's hospital in the United States of America for the last X amount of years now, it's now a growing foundation that's going worldwide, and that's so important. So let's help them. Let's hit that donation link in the pinned comments there. Let's go check it out, and every amount helps, whether it's $1, $10, $100, $1,000. It doesn't matter how much you can donate. Every little bit helps, and it goes directly into St. Jude's bank account. We appreciate anybody who can donate, and you know what? Sharing the content out is just as useful as well. We got to break the internet algorithm. We got to make sure as many people worldwide see that we're raising money for St. Jude's and see that this is going worldwide, and let's continue to get this out there by sharing that donation link as well. So I think we have all our racers here today. We are missing 2. We are missing GT Jersey, and we are missing Roses. Alright, so let's set our grid. Did that work? What did that do? That didn't do anything. ATB. Sheriff Mischievous. JP Doug Roses. We don't have a Roses. So be J Dylan Supra. And then Jacob Tom. Alright. The grid is set. We got our 10 racers on track. Oh. Everybody's changing their tires. Alright, we'll give them a minute here. And we will get caught up on the other PC. Alright. So, I hope everybody's ready. This is going to be a very technical racetrack. Dragon Trail Gardens is not for the faint of heart, and it's going to prove to be very, very challenging here for the racers as well. It's evening conditions, which means the racetrack is going to be very slippery. So let's just get on with it, shall we? I can't enter. I'm not racing. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing. We gotta wait for the game to let us in so we can see the action. Come on, hurry up. We want to see. We want to see. We want to see. We're trying to urge it. Alright, let's see if we can do this quickly so we don't miss the start of the race. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Kick them tires. Light them fires. It's time to go racing. Oof, long lights. We're just waiting for those reds to turn green. We are 5 red strong anytime now, and we're green. ADP is going to lead the field. We know the Ferraris get a good race start here, so the Ferraris are going to be looking to get an early jump here, but that could also cause a problem heading into the first set of corners, making potentially 3-4 wide positions here heading into the first set of corners. Now, it's not corner 1 that's going to be the issue here. It's going to be corners 2, 3, 4, and 5 that are going to be the issue here. That could start to bundle the pack up, so we'll see how everybody handles it here. Supra and Sheriff here side by side, and ooh, a great run right there from Dylan as he sneaks right up at the 3rd place there. We're still battling it out here. Supra is still battling over Sheriff here in the RCs, and Streeter Tom now looking to try and scoop up a position here up ahead as well. So Supra on the defense here. Dylan takes that nice, good, wide entry. He's going to stay ahead of Supra there, and Supra applying some pressure, but he does clear there and stay in 4th place. So now it's Streeter Tom here up into P6 from the back of the pack, and battling right there with, who is it? Looks like Jason? Nope, Sheriff Doofy. So Sheriff Doofy sliding down the field here just a tiny little bit as drivers got to get their bearings here, and they kind of want to just get sorted out here. So patience is going to be key here. Miss Devi is taking a position on J-set there as they come around the corner as well, and we'll go through the players and take a look at everything here in just a moment once this race settles down to the ATV. He's in the Ferrari 4 here, and he is in the race lead with about 3/4 of a second over JP, who's also in the Ferrari 458, and we're seeing a trend here. We've got Dylan in the Ferrari 458, and we've got Supra in the Ferrari 458. So the Ferrari seems to be the stronger car of choice here so far early in the race, but the race is far, far from over. We've got a battle here between Dylan and Supra for 3rd place here. Supra is on the inside. Dylan holding strong here on the outside as we head into turn number 2. And Supra still side by side with Dylan. Dylan has a little bit of position here on Supra. Here's in the inside line. Supra's going to go for a big sweep, going to give him the outside track here. Touch between the 2 drivers there a little bit. And Supra is going down and out there as he tries to get back on track and recover there. So it looked like there was a little bit of a touch there, but we have seen a lot of the neck quarter of the season, unfortunately, obviously we can't discount that there was some lag involved in that situation as well. And Supra is back on the road here and on his wheels. So that's an unfortunate situation there. But it is what it is. When you force a driver tight like that, you're compromising their line on the inside of the corner, and that means they don't have a whole lot of room to try and make that corner, and sometimes there's contact between the race cars. So it's risk versus reward when you squeeze drivers tight in the corners, and it's just hard racing and good defensive line driving, but at some point, sometimes it creates a little contact, and obviously with the internet at play, sometimes it creates contact without people realizing there's even contact, and that's just unfortunate. Alright, but it is ATV still in the lead, JP in second. Dylan still here in 3rd, but Streeter Tom now battling with Dylan there as he gets an inside line in that Honda NSX, and that opens the door for Doug Barrow to try and take a position here on Dylan, as well as the Evo and the Ferrari are side by side drag racing start-finish line here on our first official race-paced lap here at Drag Trail Gardens, and it is game on here from our pro division for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Foundation. Let's race it for Paul. Let's do it for the Bloomstroms. Let's have a good spirited battle here today in round number 7 as we're lingering towards crowning our champions this season with 3 rounds of racing left. Oof, little slide there from 10 tenths with Stevens. Potential little touch between the cars there. And this is a spirited battle there. Dylan now finds himself sideways at the same spot that we seen Supra have an issue last lap there. And now Dylan is sideways in the same corner here. And so ATV still in the race lead here on DP in 2nd place with Streeter Tom in 3rd place. And we had two side-by-side battles going into that sector there, and I suspect that corner is going to create some issues here for our racers today, as it is very tight quarters through there, and it's very hard to battle side-by-side through that sector, and sometimes drivers get it wrong. So far we've seen Misted and Dylan and Supra suffer in turns 2, 3, and 4. Close behind in second, about 6/10 of a second in behind him. We've got Streeter Tom closing in very quickly in NSX here in 3rd place. Doug Barrow in the Audi R8 Evolution Edition here in 4th position with JT chasing in the Ferrari 458 as well. So about half our field are Ferraris here. We got the 4911 by Miss Devious here in 8th place with Jay in the Audi R8 Evo as well. Supra here in the Ferrari up into 8th place here. Sheriff now is down into P9 here in that RCZ, and then closing in here in 10th place after that mistake. So it is most certainly game on here. It's Pierce Bloomstrom, and it's been fun watching you guys race. Thanks again so much for doing this. We appreciate all the support from you guys. It means the world to me and all that. Thank you for being here. we're going to do our hardest to hit that $2,500 goal. It's a little slow right now, but we're going to keep pushing this. Obviously, the end of the year is coming, and we want to do well for St. Jude. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, the important thing here is to share. Sharing is going to be the big success point here in all of our fundraising over the last 5 years at GT45 Gaming with other organizations or our own fundraising efforts. Sharing has been our key to success to communities and doing a fantastic job at it. And I know it seems like we're doing this a lot lately here, but I mean, this is a par for the course as a content creator. We want to try and get back to our communities and charity foundations, and fundraising is the best way for us to do it in cooperation with the communities. So sharing is caring. So share the content out. And it's always nice to leave a little personal message when you're sharing content out within your own networks. It makes it a little more real and personal for yourself. It makes it look like you're passionate about it. It looks like you're passionate about what you're sharing, and other people are going to take notice and read it, and hopefully do the same thing in return. Law of averages is the thing we're looking for here. 1 out of every 10 people are going to be willing to donate, but we got to get the content shared out so that we have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of people seeing what's going on here, what we're doing for St. Jude, and what St. Jude is doing for the children of the world. It's super important, and I mean, all we can do is try our best. Ladies and gentlemen, already has been successes. We've already raised money for St. Jude, but let's keep pushing the envelope. Let's keep pushing that number higher and higher, and let's hit that $2,500 goal here before the end of the 2025 season. So with that being said, we should have an all-star race announcement coming up here in the next round of racing, maybe by round 9 here as well. Myself and Roland will be sitting down to finalize what the special event post-season will be for our racers and for our fans and our viewers. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to want to miss it. This is definitely something a little outside of the box from GT45 Gaming, but I mean, Paul Bloomstrom is outside of the box, so in order to appease the angel looking above, we got to make sure we go a little bit outside of the box here for the all-star race, and that's going to be a pretty spectacular event. They always are, and it's what the drivers strive for throughout the season as well. They're not fighting for a championship, they're fighting for one of those kind of all-star racing spots, and we've seen those all-star races bring in a lot of positive feedback from the racing community in the past, so we're looking forward to it this season 18. It's a small mistake there coming through the quadruple triangle there, as I like to call it. It's a horseshoe that's made out of 4 different corners. And Streeter Tom now moves up into the race leader, Doug Bro in second, but JP takes advantage of that wide line there from Doug Bro, and he's going to slip up into the inside. He's going to take second place away, and now Doug Bro slipping down into third place. And boy, we have a fight up front here for the race lead. Doug Bro is going to respond back here now as he takes a look up the inside going into turn 1, but JP defends that position off, and Doug has no choice but to settle back in behind, and that puts JP Misdevious and ATV all right there. ATV looks like he had a little bit of position and decides to back out, and they're all going to go single file here through this triple sector. This is a very tough S sector here at Dragon Trail Gardens. It's very undulating. If you get a little too much of the curving on the inside, it can really upset your race car as well. So the drivers are moving here right now, and the top 7 only separated by 3 seconds. It's pretty crazy here. And then the other drivers have been struggling a little bit. Super here in 8th place, Sheriff here in 9th position, and Dylan here in 10th place. But there is a lot of racing left. We're not even 10 minutes into this 1 hour race, but it's been fun watching. That's fantastic. Yeah, Ian, how you doing, brother? Hope you're doing fantastic, my guy. Share this out into those boys over there in your communities. Get them in here. We have not seen so much of the community here yet this season. Let's get everybody in here and let's get this thing hustling and bustling for St. Jude's. Hope everybody's enjoying. Hope the audio is good. If something needs to change, please do let me know again, ladies and gentlemen. If the game's too loud, if I'm too loud, just let me know. Tweaks on the fly here. It's new streaming PC donated by the Winter Circle community, so thank you to the community as always for stepping up when we need it the most so we can keep getting this great content out. I'm not going to lie, our old PC was on the verge of death, and we were really concerned it wasn't even going to make the championship season this season. But all those worries are now put away here as we are on the official new streaming PC. And a member of the community did come in and build this PC for us, and this particular member is a youth of our community as well. So this was a under 18 young man that came in and built the PC here for the stream as well. So we talk about giving back to our community and how many people give our youth a chance with something so important like a custom built PC. And GT45 Gaming does, because we believe in our youth here. So far it has been working absolutely fantastic. This is our first official real crack at the stream with it here. So far it looks like we're doing a good job. I'm very happy. It's all about community here. We try to do our best to stay with our community and help our community the best we can. So Jude is now dropping a few positions here. She takes a very wide exit there, open the door for Dylan, and Dylan is going to get the position here. So we can see what happens. Too busy yammering, but that's what it's all about. Alright, so let's get to the racing here. Alright, Streeter Tom in the race lead. Start to open a gap, 1.5 seconds over JP's got 1.3 seconds over Doug Barrow, who's going to get himself back up in the third place. JP's just lingering in the background, just a car length in behind here in the Ferrari as we head into the final couple corners here, and you can see why this racetrack is so technical. I don't want to take away from Jason and ATV starting to battle in 4th and 5th place in behind here as well. So let's go take a quick peek at that, see if anybody can get a run here heading into turn number 1. Turn number 1's a great passing area. It's a high-speed passing area as well. There's definitely 2 solid lines that can be held there, and it makes a difference of a couple miles per hour at bare most, depending on the line that you take and how well your entry is. So really it comes down to the entry of this first corner. So side-by-side battling is definitely good. Your Super's up in 7th place, but your share from 8th, Dylan's in 9th, and Steven's here. So get out of 10th place, a little bit of damage on the car there. So a potential mistake being made. Alright, so moving and grooving in 2nd position. The car's in great don't get it in the middle, and we'll get a closer look at the ladies here. Probably pretty soon, before we start getting into the conditions, because it's getting a little bit tougher to see that. So it's a very simple livery for the NSX here. I believe this is a Wyndham, and the Wyndham livery here coming from RA Streeter Tom here this week. JP and his absolutely amazing livery designs here for the Race Asylum team as well. Always looking good, always sharp and looking in great color schemes. We got a nice sky blue moved into a purple pink tinge here on his particular car this week. And we got a great battle here between Jakey and Doug Barrow still, so we're keeping our eye on this. Doug, it looks like a Dragon Ball Z or Tekken, something like that, on the R8 Doug Barrow. That's pretty cool. You see that. Jakey in a flare orange Ferrari here today. ATV, and I can't quite remember what we were on this car from Liberty Approval Channel. I'll have to take a look here a little bit closer, but again, just another whatever it is on this car. I can't really tell from my point of view because, like I said, we're streaming quite differently here, so we're getting used to this whole new setup. Then we got Jay and a custom TT livery here on track here today as well. We've got Supra again. He is in his modified Acura livery here, and I believe that he's got, what has he got on? Not sure, it looks like some Gunman stuff, some other stuff. We've got Sheriff Doofy here, and he's got his good old racing style livery in this car this week. What do we got from Dylan? Final Fantasy, right? This is our Final Fantasy Ferrari here. I want to get a closer look at this. This is Final Fantasy 7. That's Final Fantasy, in my opinion. I think most of the Final Fantasy community probably agrees with that, even though, yes, there are other games that are very well done. And of course, our St. Jude's host car here this season as well. This was the car that we raced at the 24 Hours of Spa this a couple weeks ago here for St. Jude's, and it raised a little bit of money towards the foundation here in that race as well. So we just want to thank everybody that came out during that 24 Hours of Spa and chipped in towards the cause for St. Jude's. TV's here now, in the championship season here. Gotta see that car. It's a beautiful car. Just kind of, it's amazing what kind of ideas you can come up with. It could be better, it could be worse, I suppose, but we had to do something a little bit special for our big final race in the Endurance Championship last season, and that was a fitting thing. Oh, and Jakey getting it a little bit wrong there. That is to keep the car out of damage. He doesn't crash the car, but now he's going to have some dirty tires here to off the ground there, so a little bit of a mistake in slipstream there. He had a little overspeed coming out of the exit of turn number 1 there, and that shot him a little bit wide. So again, does a fantastic job keeping it damage free there, and keeps it underneath him, still battle for the podium here. But the race is starting to settle in here now, and we should see probably a pretty dominant one-stop style strategy, I think, here this weekend. As again, the soft tires don't last particularly long at Dragon Trail Gardens here. It's a very, as you can see, it's a very tough circuit here. We'll jump on board with Streeter Tom here when he comes around next time. Ooh, and a big moment there from Doug Barrow in that Audi as he comes over the hill. Now you can see headlights are starting to turn on in these cars here, and that means that the track is starting to cool down. So the track is going to start to get a little bit slippery here as well as these temperatures start to die down as the sun is setting in the background here. Sheriff Doofy in 8th place. We got Dylan in 9th position. In 10th place, and everybody's starting to settle into the rhythm here. So it's 133 flat basically right now for our fast lap of the race. So let's jump on board with our A Streeter Tom and take us forward a lap around Greg. Turn 1 is very sweet in the corner. It's just a lift, maybe a downshift depending on the car you're in. Just controlling that throttle here. You're going to hit that 100 board right there. You're going to get on the brakes down here. Be very patient here. A little tap of the throttle to get the car underneath and then back on the throttle. Get that cut right like you see on Tom. Pretty good exit. Catch that sausage curve that's in the middle of those two levels right there. Really throw your car for a loop, but it does maximize the time around that trail gardens here. So at the 50 board, you're 75 board, you're hard on the brakes. Get that car to roll around this 180-degree hairpin. Make sure you're nice and straight to the back of the throttle. And then here's just some sweeping corners. It's all about throttle control here. Just keeping the cars turning nice and stable. You don't want to slide the tires. Yours just constantly turning your Dragon Trail gardens. Uphill is downhill, left and right hand corners. And some very technical style corners. And this is the 4 apex corner we're talking about here. It is just a giant 4-corner apex portion. And you can maximize your speed around here, utilize them all the track. And that sets us up for the last couple corners here. You're going to the right side. At the last board here, you're hard on the brakes. Get the car to roll in. Ooh, a little too hard on the brakes there for Tom as he almost overshot it. Downshift a little bit. Hard back on the accelerator. Back around Dragon Trail Garden. So very technical racetrack, so very hard on the tires. So soft tires not overly feasible here this weekend. I don't think we'll see too many drivers jump on the soft tires. I could be wrong. These drivers have absolutely thrown all kinds of surprises at us this season. I would imagine that this will be no different this week. So Jakey had a good run there on Doug Barrow. Jakey's a very patient racer here. I mean, with 42 minutes left in the race, essentially. There's no real immediate need to say force a battle with Doug Barrow. Clearly a very good pace. Jakey's happy with the pace of Doug Barrow right now. And I think the goal is mainly not to lose those two guys up in front right now. If they start battling, then that's exactly what could happen. You see JP is right there striking distance. So the fact that Doug and Jakey just haven't been battling at all has allowed their pace to catch back up to JP. Now Streeter Tom is in a little bit of a different world of his own right now. He's about 4 seconds up the road from the rest of the field. So starting to run away with this race a little bit here. And oh boy, Doug Barrow again gets it way wrong there. Jakey reading that he was in trouble and just laid off a little bit. Not really able to jump on that mistake and take the position. So he just settles back into Doug and they'll continue to do what they do and push back in on JP. ATV from pole position sitting in 5th place here. So holding very strong. Super trying to pull back in here in P6 as well. Jay set up into 7th place. He's got Sheriff in tow with Dylan right there in behind as well. So potential 3-way battle here for 7th place starting to develop between Jay, Sheriff, and Dylan. So Dylan has been a very strong performer here again this championship season. I'm not sure what happened to start down the field there, but again, Dragon Trail Gardens is a love-hate relationship with the racing community here. Some love this track, some absolutely despise this track. There's not really I'm okay with it kind of feeling with Dragon Trail Gardens. So I mean, this is why we do this as league organizers. We want to make drivers uncomfortable. We want to take them out of their comfort zones from time to time and really see their skill level come out of them, right? We're forcing them to really utilize their skills by throwing some of these different racetracks in these championships. And again, Dragon Trail Gardens is one of those tracks you just do not see very, very often in racing. It's not, like I said, it's not a fan favorite within the racing community, right? So, and the fact that it can rain here is a little bit of an unknown factor as part of the racing community as well. So that is potential that could happen here today, but I do believe it's a rare occurrence that happens in Dragon Trail Gardens in dynamic weather. So, and Supra again in trouble there as well. He got a little too much of that same curve we were seeing Doug Barrow have a couple of issues with, and again, just keeps it underneath him. A real battle here between J-Set and Dylan. Sheriff looks like he had just gotten around J-Set recently here as well. And Dylan now gets the position on J-Set, so means that they get 8th place. Jay moved down into 9th place. He's closed in on this in terms of saying for 7th place as well. So when you're in the back there, it's more or less lap count matters. So if you got pace, you obviously want to try and get ahead of the car that might be slowing you down, but consider about the lap count for the point system here. So yeah, that's why we don't see intense battling in the back part of the field here. The hard battling we see comes from our podium sitters, because there's a few for the guys who made first, second, and third place in the gals. And there is a fastest lap bonus point here as well this season. So the fastest lap on the track does count as well. We've seen driver strategies play into literally just try and snag that extra 2 bonus points for the fastest lap when things haven't gone their way on a racing weekend. So ATV and Supra here now are starting to close in on each other. So let's for a moment. But we still kind of got that battle between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. We've got that huge battle between 7th through 10th going on here in the background as well. Supra gets a pretty good charge here on ATV as they come around that hairpin. You can see that 4-way battle just in the background there. Nothing has changed, I don't think, yet in position there currently, but boy, these Ferraris are sure putting it all on the edge here. Both these drivers did a little bit wrong heading on that exit there. Now we're going to go side by side through this sector. This is a very difficult sector here to go side by side through. Supra there is going to go a little bit wide, still maintaining his space here. It does allow him to stay on the inside of the ATV, but Dylan is not going to be able to get the job done. But ATV does overshoot there, and that allows him to go open back side by side here now as we head down the front straight, and we are straight side by side. Greg racing to the start finish line. It looks like it's going to be Supra that's going to get there first, and it is going to be Supra to come across the line there in the 5th position. So we will just see a pit stop. Doug Barrow here. JP's just lingering in the background. I don't think we see any pit stop. Oh yes, we do. We have Dylan coming into pit lane here. So Dylan, the first driver to make a pit stop here at Dragon Trail Garden. So it is straight lane here, still in the race league. He's got a 7.5 second. Oh, what do we got going on here? Another disconnect happening here. Oh boy. Look at the touch there between JP and Doug coming up into the straightaway here as we go into the hairpin. Potential contact there. Doug is moving here now in the 9th place. So, not sure. I think he was just sitting there to probably allow the traffic to get through. I'm not sure. Maybe there was an issue with car or his racing equipment perhaps, but it looked like there was a little bit of contact there that shot Doug a little bit wide on the racetrack there, so we'll wait and see if anything goes further than that. But we do have a stewarding staff here that does take a look at things post racing week. Sometimes stewarding staff gets extremely busy in real life and it takes a little bit longer than anticipated, but they make really good strong assessments based off of obviously the rule book and put in place, of course, what we expect as racers on the racetrack. So it gets a little bit difficult when we have, like I said, the internet at play and lag at play, and you have two drivers that have two completely different looks at the same moment in time on the racetrack. When you look at the replays, we call that net coding, and that makes it very, very difficult to make a informed, proper decision as a steward and official. So they've got a tough job in GT45 gaming. Like I said, we've got an extensive rule book here, so they got a tough book to follow, and they really have to make sure they get it right, because the penalties can be steep depending on the infractions. So they don't like to get it wrong, basically. So the unfortunate reality is that really makes it difficult. So for some reason, I have had lagging drivers this season in my lobby, and that's not typical for me and my host. Even though that we stream these races, we've never had such an extensive issue with lag in the season. So I don't know if it's just server condition within the game, or if it's just the internet connection in the new place isn't as strong as it was at the old place. I don't know, but it was doing this at the old house too as well. So slightly concerned as an organizer here, but that does give Jakey third place now with that incident, potential incident between JP and Doug Barrow there, and Doug Barrow stopped on the side of the track there for a moment. I assume he let that forward battle through that was chasing behind him. So that puts Supra up into fourth place here. He's got 1.9 seconds, 1.7 seconds left here. Head through the triple S's here, the triple chicane. Oof, Sheriff Goofy there. Got a great run, made a mistake, and then got a good run and managed to get around ATV there. That was interesting. We got Jason here in 7th place, and Miss Davies in 8th position. We got Doug here now sliding back up into 9th place in 10th position after making an early pit stop here. So just changing the strategy up a little bit here. So I feel like he's going to try and extend those medium tires for a longer duration. Try to see if we can gain some time on the pit stop sequences. These drivers are now starting to race on fairly worn out tires. They're starting to get to that point where the tires aren't feeling great on any drivers. And the second place here between Jake and JP right now on the track here, and it's JP holding strong against Jake here for the time being as we head through the final two corners. And JP is settled in just a car length in behind JP here, and it's same pieces of machinery. We got the same cars here. It's Ferrari versus Ferrari, so the advantage really comes down to the drivers behind the car. We know JP and Jakey are both very good drivers, so let's see if Jakey can find a way to get second place from JP, and let's see if JP can find a way to keep that from happening with JP very close in behind. Super is 6 seconds in behind the podium. We have Sheriff in 5th place, 2 seconds in behind. And has ATV just 1 second in behind Sheriff, and everybody is still very close together here. 1 second difference between ATV and JSET. It's 1.7 seconds between JSET and 10/10 Miss Devious. It's only 3 seconds between Miss Devious and Doug Barrow here, and then of course it's a little bit of a bigger gap there, but it's only, what is that, 10, 13 seconds to the field after making that pit stop. So it's not I don't think it's a very long pit stop here at Dragon Trail Gardens, so there is that for the driver, so you're not going to lose a ton of time in the pit stop here today. So really it comes down to your strategy and when are you going to make the pit stop, how long is the fuel going to take you. We're at the 32-minute mark here, and some of our racers might be struggling to make this work on a one-stop strategy based off what I'm seeing for fuel here right now. We'll have to wait and see here, but I should suspect we're going to see Tom go around one more time. Oof, it gets a little bit wider on the final corner, and that's just a sign that those right side tires are really starting to kind of lose that grip, especially when the car's forcing its way out into a corner on exit. So the drivers are starting to feel that a little bit here. We got JP here now in second place, and JP is making a pit stop here. He's out of fuel, so he's kind of coasting in the pit lane. Super here going to go in third place ahead. So JP could be potentially in a little bit of trouble. Might need a splash and dash before the end of this race here. We got Sheriff in fourth place. We got ATV in fifth. We got JSET in sixth. We got Miss Davies here in seventh. That puts Doug back up into 8th place here, and that's going to leave JP here in 9th place. And I suspect he is going to fill the tank to the brim here. Ooh, and Tom almost getting it wrong there, heading through the triple S's, and we've seen the drivers make that mistake a few times here today already as well. Jakey here in second place. I mean, you really need to utilize that curbing to get a good fast exit out of that corner, so that's why you see the drivers taking that risk, and that's why you see the odd time the drivers making that mistake. The curbs are really chew you up and spit you out here. The curbs are very aggressive at Dragon Trail Gardens. They're very high on the back center of them, and that can really upset the car and the suspension on the GT3 cars. That breaks the aero force, and well, then it gets a little exciting from that point. Sheriff here in fourth place with ATV chasing in fifth. We got JSET up into sixth position here with Miss Devious in seventh place, and just as we talk about that curb, we see 10/10 Miss Devious get it wrong there, and she is going to find herself having a quick chat with Barry there. You can see the yellow flag waving in front of Dylan as he comes through that sector there. Miss Devious is moving up to what race control is considerable amount of pace to remove the yellow flag. And oh no, JP coming out of pit lane gets it wrong on those cold tires himself too. And we've got enough crashes in that corner alone here this week to make a crash compilation from Dragon Trail Gardens potentially. Hey, what do we think, chat? What do we think? Crash compilation for Dragon Trail Gardens? I think we'd have a few. I mean, for charity, right? I mean, it's always for charity. Come on. That'd be great. We may actually do that. When things go wrong. So that puts Dylan up into third place. Oh, field pit stopping here now. And that's what we expected to see, the halfway mark, to see the majority of the whole field pit. Some drivers, however, though, have not been taking care of their fuel, and that may cost them here this week. But we'll have to wait and see. So Streeter Tom here still in the race lead. JP in second place, Dylan in third. We'll see Dylan take the race lead when Jake and Tom make their pit stop. But the bigger question is can Dylan hang on to it long enough, mainly on fuel in that Ferrari, to hold on to a race win with his very, very big undercut strategy that he's pulling here this weekend in round number 7 of the Vegas Cup Series. Real strong here, still in 5th place. He's got J-Set right on the rear bumper there. Super here is in 7th position. JP in 8th place. We got Doug here in 9th position. 10th was Davies here after her pit stop in 10th place. So a little bit of space from the drivers here now, but that will all change as the race continues to go on. So we will get some updated points tables here for everybody to see on the stream moving into the last couple of rounds here as well. We have to start the factory drop rounds this season. Adjustment we'll want to make to the points table this season is to balance out the points a little bit better so the drop rounds have a more effective role for what they're designed for. Keep the fair play and play for the championship season. So the admin staff is going to be busy post round 7 this week as we prepare to get ready for the All-Star race announcement, and of course make an adjustment to our points table for the sake of the fair play for the championship. But it was a Pro-Am leading the championship going into round 6. We haven't updated the points from round 6 is. We have a report that is just being finished up here from that racing round this weekend. Usually behind in the stewarding office, which has held up everything else. But we'll have everything caught up here by the end of this week as far as this racing round and last weekend round goes. And then we'll have a better idea and can start to break down the battles within the individual racers in the championship here this season. There's a lot to talk about. It's been a pretty crazy season. We've seen lots of different podiums there for this championship season. It seems that the drivers are fairly equally paced up against each other for the most part. And this reverse grid system seems to be somewhat working to what his desire is to give those racers that might not always be fighting at the top an opportunity to be up there to lead the race, to feel that pressure, to feel that challenge, and potentially even get on that podium and win the race themselves, right? So the reverse grid order really does give equal opportunity to every single racer in the field, even if there is a skill gap evident within the field. And I'm not saying that's the case here, but this is a generalization when it comes to league racing on GP7. You usually get your splits of your divisions with a little bit of a skill gap between the top half, bottom half, and the lobby, and some form of separation. Doesn't mean that it's a large skill gap, but it's a skill gap nonetheless. So that reverse grid does potentially allow for that skill gap to be negated in a sense. Ooh, and Doug with a big slide coming around the final corner there as him and JP are in a very hot battle here right now for 8th position, and it is game on here between the Audi and the Ferrari as we head into turn number 1. JP's got the inside line, that was Doug the outside track, but Doug sends it in deep and holds that line, defends that position here in 8th place. So as we head into turns 2, 3, and 4 here now, is JP going to try and make the move coming out of the S sector? You can see a big jump on the car in front there. Oh boy, somebody in trouble there, I think. We've seen caution flags here. Who is it? Dylan here in 3rd place. We've got Sheriff in 4th position. So even after the pit stop, Jake and Tom stay in the lead of this race here. That puts ATV still in 5th place with the Supra in 6th position. Doug Barrow here in 7th has managed to hold off the position and the charge from JP for the time being. That puts Jason in 9th place with Miss Davies here in 10th position. So With 25 minutes remaining here in our race, most of our drivers should be good to go to the checkered flag on fuel and tires, but there is a couple of question marks here in the grid on whether or not they have enough to go the distance here, and we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out here over the next 25 minutes of racing in this Cup Series. And again, this is an effort to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Foundation in honor of Bloomstrom and Paul Bloomstrom himself, and of course with the sim racing community by my side here and no ladder side. We race for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital for the remaining month here, and other special events and live streams as well to help try and top off that $2,500 goal that we got set here this season for St. Jude's. This will be back the next championship season as well. It's going to be something that we're going to be reoccurring from year to year, and hopefully that we get some good traction, get some good steam built off of this platform and this foundation for St. Jude's, and we can really start to make a big difference in the years to come. You just never know until you try, so all we got to do is try and keep moving. We have a local organization we're going to attach to the gaming page here very soon as well. Thank you for that gaming just for outside regular content, outside of championship events and special events as well. So we're making some changes here on the page as well, hopefully for the better for the community, obviously. And, it all started with some equipment upgrades, so now we've kind of got that rolling. We can start to put the plan in motion. We got great battles all up and down this racetrack there. I mean, everywhere we look, there's somebody close to somebody trying to get a position here. So now it's JP and Soup right here are separated only by half a second. So as we head through the final corners here, it is on here at Dragon Trail Gardens. Streeter Tom, however, though, for a second lead right now. He's been in control of this race all race long, but Jakey is having none of that as he puts down a blazing fast one, 32.370 here on the racetrack, and is on a mission to track Tom down. Dylan here in third place. Over the big tough slog here for Dylan. The big question is, does he have the fuel with the extreme undercut strategy to get him back up to the front half of the field to keep that position? Sheriff Doofy is the one that is chasing right now, 11 seconds in behind, so there is a gap there. But the question is going to have to be dispatched that stop for the race. ATV here in fifth position did make a halfway point. He's good to go to the checkered flag. That's 3 seconds from Doug Barrow chasing here in sixth place. Doug Barrow has managed to get around Super. Super now down into seventh position here, and it's the same issue for him. He had to pit a little bit early as well as JP in behind here in 8th place, and that makes you wonder if the Ferraris are going to have the fuel to go the distance here. So they are quick here at Dragon Trail Gardens, but they're a little heavy on the fuel consumption here as well. We got Jay and Mysterious here in 9th and 10th position here, closing in towards potential battle there as well. So all up and down the track with the exception of the first place currently here is battles, and oh boy, we have a big change in position here. Dylan is now up into second place, and Yankee is down into third place, 2 seconds behind. So Yankee made a mistake here somewhere around the racetrack and had given up about 4 or 5 seconds. So Dylan now up into second place, and boy, we talked about out of the box strategies and we're thinking on the fly here. Sometimes Dylan so far is that driver here in round number 7, absolutely going outside the box. Knew he had to do something there, and took a risk. So let's see if he gets rewarded here now at the end of the day. Doug Barrow up here in 6th position. Super here in 7th place. We've got JP here in 8th position. Jason in 9th place, and we've got 10th Mysterious right here in 10th position. So we're going to attempt to do some podium interviews here at the end of the race today, and not test that on the race set up yet, but I don't think it should be an issue. Could be completely wrong. Oof, big slide there from Spear. Around the corner here, you can need to try and push that gap bigger between himself and Dylan. Jakey is back on the charge here as we have 1.2 seconds in behind Dylan. So potential battle for second place brewing here. We got Sheriff in 4th place here, 10 seconds in behind those guys will slowly but surely also chipping away at the podium here. ATV is 4 seconds in behind Sheriff here. You got 2 seconds in behind him to Dougville in 6th place, currently chasing. Doug is closing in here on ATV as well. Super is 1.5 seconds in behind Doug, so Super I believe is closing in here. JP 1.2 seconds behind. And J set 10 tenths of his devious are separated just by a couple car lengths here, about 6 seconds in behind us. A couple of drivers there as well. So the big storylines of the day here is today it really is going to come down to fuel, I think, here. Fuel and strategies at Dragon Trail Gardens. I mean, it is a difficult racetrack, but the pros very clearly came prepared to race this racetrack. And we have a battle between second and third place here. Jakey again has to gather it up there as that curve almost chewed him up and spit him out there. Boy, that curve has gotten its victims here today at Dragon Trail Gardens. Applying some pressure here to Dylan. This is for second and third position here. So which is going to be in second and which is going to be in third at the end of this fight is what we're waiting to find out here. So Dylan is again trying to also conserve some fuel here to some extent or another because he pitched so early in the race as well. I think that's going to be on the back of his mind here. How much can he battle before he's putting the fuel at risk of not making the end of the race here? That's the bigger question. Do you want to give it the one position or do you want to use potentially multiple positions because you burned up just a little too much fuel battling for that position? I think that's the bigger question. I think he's just going to opt to let Jake go through here and try to sit in behind Jake in the fuel safety. That's a smart decision in my play here, and I think that's exactly what he's thinking right there. Sheriff trying to close in, the gap still right around the 11 second mark, so we've got to do a job keeping the pace from Sheriff here right now. The Sheriff looking to put himself on that podium here today as well. He has something to say about it. ATV here in 5th place is doing a good job of trying to hold that barrel off here. Doug's still 1.1 seconds in behind, so it is fairly equal in the race. This is Super is 1.2 behind them, which is a couple seconds behind it again. Probably trying to conserve a little bit of fuel here. These devious have got Jude here, and Jay's got some damage here, so a mistake made by Jay here, and going to limp that car back into race pace here. So, tough day for some of our close that gap to Tom. I believe that's 8 seconds. My screen is a little small, so you can't see this. If we get it wrong, just yell at me. It's okay. We got Dylan here in 3rd place. We've got Sheriff here in the 4th position. Sheriff is doing everything he can. He's almost got that gap down to under 10 seconds here as he continues to push. But he is running out of time here, a little under 17 minutes remaining on the clock. We got a battle here for 5th place between ATV and Dougville. Dougville is going to take a look up the inside, heading into the first corner here, and side-by-side action here between ATV and Doug. As they continue to go around the corner here, it looks like Doug's got the position, but he doesn't have it solidly yet here. You can see the return from ATV coming out of the corner here, and on the exit from all the racers. And oh boy, a big moment there from Super in behind as he tried to cut that curve a little bit. It's going to cost him any chance he had of trying to follow Doug through with ATV there. Doug does get to P5 away from ATV there, and ATV drops down even to P6. ATV gets a good pull in on Doug at the braking there, and he is going to settle in. So now he's got Super starting to chase here in 7th place. 10 tenths of TV is now up into 8th place here. JP potentially making a mistake here and dropping down a position as well. Now J-Sec closing in there, just 2 seconds in behind JP. So it's been an interesting race. Must have been 6-second gap. I keep it looked like it was 8-second gap versus me on my screen that I'm looking at, but I guess that was 6 seconds. I'm down to 4:23 seconds. So I mean, it could be wrong, it could be 8, but something happened there as Tom gave away some precious time, and now Jakey is starting to close in there. 4 seconds in, dropping here. Dylan is 2.2 seconds in behind Jake there. Sheriff now closing in here. He's got that gap down to under the 10-second mark, 9.7 seconds. Let's see if he can do anything with it there. And then 7 seconds is the gap between him and Doug Brown here right now. So he's got a nice little cushion in behind him. ATV still chasing 1.4 seconds behind. Very close in behind here as well. In behind ATV, we got Texas Previous here in 8th position. We got JP here in 9th. We got Jason in 10th place. And we always say, you know, never give up in these races. Even when you're not having the best weekend, or you don't like the track, or you're having a hard time with the track, just keep racing your car around the racetrack, because you never know what's going to happen. And last weekend at Suzuka was a perfect example of that. Jason was about 32 seconds behind, somewhere around there. Some significant rain hit the racetrack, and he just happened to be right at the final set of corners, and made a call to take some wet tires. And some of the guys and gals decided to try and tough it out on racing slicks in the conditions, and Jason went from 32 seconds behind the field to finishing in 3rd place at the end of the race. So, prime example, Dylan makes a bold strategy here, but I don't know. He's got 14 minutes left, and that fuel is looking a little light in the car, so it's going to force a pit stop here for Dylan. Sheriff gets that corner a little bit wrong there, but he manages to keep that RC there, and no foul there from Sheriff. But Sheriff potentially take P3 away from Dylan here. But now the bigger question is, Dylan has to come into the scene to the 7 top tires. That's the next super here in the 7th position. Steve is in 8th place. Jay in 10th place. I mean, that's going to put Dylan somewhere down in the 6th, 7th position area, I think. After the splashing will stop, regardless if he takes tires or not. Tires are an additional 2 seconds, I believe. 3 seconds tops of the game, so it's going to be interesting to see what he decides to do when he does finally have to bring that car in. He is going to definitely have to bring that car in. He is not going to make it with fuel. Sheriff is looking good to try and snag a podium position here. Doug Barrow is 7 seconds in behind, and starting to feel some pressure back from ATV a little bit here. The Supra is turning this into a potential 3-way battle, so this can be good or bad for Doug Barrow and ATV. ATV can close in on Doug quickly enough here and start to force the issue with Doug, and Supra will have to wait to battle with ATV until obviously ATV battles with Doug, or Supra will try and take advantage of both drivers. So ATV definitely wants to try and close in on Doug Barrow as quickly as possible here, so they will start playing defense with Supra in behind in the Ferrari. But I think it's going to be the latter of the two options here right now. Supra is tucked right in behind ATV here, and as we head into the final corner, Supra taking a tight line there, looking for a nice tight exit out of the corner. We're hoping that ATV is going to open up the inside track there. ATV also holds a nice line through the final set of corners there. Supra to try and attack from. So game on here between ATV and Supra. Dylan coming out of pit lane here, and it looks like he's going to come out just in behind ATV and Supra. So he does come out in the 7th position there. It's about where we figured he would slot into that after having to make that quick service. And boy, oh boy, Jakey in the background there making a mistake coming out of the corner there, and Streeter Tom now opening up that gap back up to almost 5 seconds. So a little mistake made there by Jakey, cost him pretty valuable time as the race starts to dwindle down to the 10-minute mark here. Sheriff now up in the 3rd place. He's got 7 seconds over Doug Barrow. He's got a second over ATV. He's got a whisker over a Supra here. A car length right now separating the two drivers at the moment. That takes us to Dylan now, who's 1.9 seconds in behind, and definitely has to grab a soft set of tires. I figured that probably would be the case. Stevens is 9 seconds in behind, and then we've got JP and Jason battling out here in the 9th and 10th position. JP wide. Jason maybe touched him a little bit there, perhaps, and is just not taking the position from JP, or just didn't get a good run out of the corner. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, battling there as well. So 3.4 seconds now the gap. That's a little give and take from our first and second place drivers here, and then we've got 17-second cushion to Sheriff, sitting in 3rd place. Sheriff has 6 seconds to Doug, so Doug's chipping away here. Keeping it kind of broken free of Supra a little bit here. He's got a little bit of breather. Chase down Doug, the gap down for a second. Supra's under fire here from Dylan, who just came fresh out of pit lane. So this is where things are going to get interesting. having to worry about defending before you can possibly attack ATV, and the mistake coming around that corner there is going to slow them down. It's going to give Dylan a run, and by the time we get into the braking zone, we're going to be almost up to the bumper of the Superboy here. So can he get something done coming out of the exit on the hairpin here? Super takes a very, very shallow entry, but so does Dylan. He's going to touch the between the two cars, and Dylan settles back in behind. So much respect being shown from the races as per the but Dylan definitely looking for a way around Supra. I mean, the whole point of having to taking soft tires at this point now for Dylan is to make up as much time as possible on the racetrack to grab as many positions back as he can before this race ends. He's got 8 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Jakey is 3 seconds behind Streeter Tom, trying to find any more time that he can on Tom to try and make that a battle for the race lead. And last 8 minutes, Sheriff here in third place, just trying to keep it right and tight and get this thing around the racetrack a few more times here to take that podium position. Doug Girl here in fourth place, trying to spoil that for Sheriff, just 6-point-something seconds behind. And then we've got this chasing pack here as well with ATV, Superboy, and Dylan in 5th through 7th place here. So ATV is holding strong in 5th place here. He's been holding off the Charger Super here for about 4 or 5 laps now, and that has allowed Doug actually to get away a little bit. So like I said, it was very great for Doug, and he's been able to drive away as the ATV had been more than aware of Super there. Super taking a very short exit, short line through there, but it doesn't seem to really shake Dylan off of his rear tail fin at all. And as he continues to try and defend but not lose any pace to ATV here, he's starting to find himself just losing a little bit of time, and ATV in front. He gets a good run through the hairpin here this time. Dylan is just looking for a way to get around. He's got 2 positions right here in front of him right now. He's got 8 minutes on the clock. He's just trying to find a way around. Now Super's trying to take advantage of the small amount of space that he's got currently here between himself and Dylan, and trying to make something happen here around ATV. But again, he puts himself on a compromised outside line, and he's not going to be able to get around ATV. He does have a much better job there at battling with ATV through the center this time than the last time we saw, but unable to get the job done. So now that takes us into the final corner. ATV stays on that defensive line there, and Super's not going to find an opening there to try and battle, and we're going to see something happening there. 7 here as he has fallen up to 5 seconds just made a mistake potentially in the air. That final second, whatever's happening here, we now have a potential battle for the race lead with 7 minutes remaining. Now closing in on Straighter Tom here, so that 3 seconds has very quickly turned into no seconds, and the car lead separating first and second place here. And we start to wind down to the checkered flag here at Dragon Trail Gardens. It is picking up in the action. It has been absolutely action-filled race all week so far from our program. Everywhere we look, we're finding battles. ATV and Super here looking like they just had a battle for position. Super looking like they came up in the upper hand there, but we have the replay for this one, so let's look at what we missed just a few moments ago here. And just good, hard, clean positioning right here. Super gets that inside track going into the hairpin. It's a good exit. ATV gets a little bit loose on the exit there and has to gather the car up, and then makes an easy pass there for Super to open the gap up. So Super now up into 5th place, 18 down to A6. So Streeter Tom now 1 second ahead of Jakey trying to open that gap back up. Sheriff here is just holding strong in 3rd place, 16 seconds behind, 6-second gap between himself and Doug. Gap between himself and 4th place. Super now trying to close in on Doug for 3 seconds. 1.3 seconds in behind Supra, and Dylan starting to close back in here, 2.4 seconds in behind ATV, 5 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Mysterious is just 6 seconds in behind Dylan, with J-Set and JP still battling hard here in 9th and 10th place, but a dozen seconds in behind them as well. Again, it is a fuel-saving race there, as he did have to pit slightly before that 30-minute mark to get fuel in that racing car, so he is going to some extent save some fuel here in this final stint, and more unfortunately for him, that's going to cost him track position here, which is why I think we're seeing him down at P10 here today. Or currently on the racetrack. The race is shaped up for a great thing. But Streeter Tom doing a great job of opening the gap back up to JP. So whatever mistake that Tom made, he has made back up to sheer pace right now. JP continues to try to close in, but Tom doing a great job there at managing the gap from JP there for a potential race win here this weekend. Sheriff now into third place here. Doug now in fourth position, chasing, but just can't seem to gain any ground. Much of the same for Super Doug here right now. Still Dylan is starting to track here. So now there's a little bit of space between Ferrari and Super. Dylan might be able to start to process an attack strategy here with 4.5 minutes remaining. It's going to give us 3 more laps of racing here. So essentially we've got 3 laps to make this happen. Seconds in behind. We still got this spicy battle between Jay and JP right now going on. Battles all around the racetrack, as we love to see. Ooh, Tom with a little wiggle there as he sets up for the second part of this triple S sector, and allows Jake to go right back in on the back trunk of that Honda NSX here. So as these drivers continue around the racetrack here, time dwindling down. Separating the race leaders at the moment is half a second, so a little over a car length separating Jake and Streeter Tom here for the overall race leader. And Jakey's giving it everything he's got here. Streeter Tom is trying to make sure that Jakey can't close in for any kind of attack here. And as the drivers continue around, is going to be 2 to go. They might get an additional lap here in this day. Alright. On everything, Dylan has made his way around ATVs. Dylan up into P6, ATV down into 7th position here. And JP's closing in on Jason here as well. So these are our 2 immediate close battles here. So we'll try to stick with them. Alright, Jason and JP here. To be a fly in the chat right now, right? But it would totally break the family-friendly code. Unfortunately, JP gets an inside track here, and he's going to try and get the run on Jason here. So for 9th position here, and it's a drag race to the finish line. It's going to be Jason. Is it going to be JP as it comes across the line? And it's going to be Jason at the line there by about half a car length. So the Audi proving to be just as strong in a straight line as that Ferrari here. And you know that Audi R8 Evolution is an underrated car in my opinion in the MR class. I mean, it eats on the tires really heavy, and it can use up a lot of fuel depending on the race circumstance, but the car is quite solid, quite fast, so I'm actually happy to see a few on the track here today. When I was doing my track testing this week with 1010 Racing, doing some practicing with the group, ooh, and a mistake made here by Tom. It was an open door for Jakey to close it back in, but Jakey was not close enough, unfortunately, there to make haste and take advantage of that mistake, but it does allow him to close it back in here. The final lap here from our racer. So Sheriff is 16 seconds in behind as Doug 5 seconds in behind. Doug starting to chip away a little bit here. Supra starting to lose a little bit of time here with Doug, and now has Dylan battling with him here as well. And the difference in the line for the 2 races there was a little bit of an odd entry there for Supra. Thinking the gathering car up to give it a great slot there all the way into the street. Really compromised with entry and exit for Dylan. Defense here now as look to want to re-attack there, and that's going to force Dylan out a little bit wide on the exit. So going to be trying to hold the charge off from the Superboy here, but we've got to get to this pack here as we're halfway around the racetrack, and when these guys cross the start finish line, we're going to be the end of our race here today. So Streeter Tom, Jakey separated by half a second here right now, just a car length as we head through the final half a dozen corners of the race here today. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Tom? Is it going to be Jakey? Jakey's going to give up everything he's got. Tom has just had enough Can he continue to hold on for 2 more corners and a half mile of straightaway here to the checkered flag? JP looking to get a big run here, gets a nice clean entry on the exit, but both of them wiggle a little bit there. And it looks like it is going to be Streeter Tom for a round 7 win here with a great battle between him and ERA's JP. And that is how we love to see it, ladies and gentlemen, right to the checkered flag. Great job by Streeter Tom and JP. Congratulations to Tom for a round 7 race win here. And it is going to be a P3 here for Sheriff. I'm sure he can be very happy about that result here today in that RCZ. Doug Burrows is going to sit here in 4th place here today in that Audi R8 Evolution. That brings Dylan back across the line in 5th place. So let's pick a couple of positions up super close behind there in 6th position with ATV right there in behind. 7th place, Mysterious is going to bring Morgan across the line here in 8th place today for herself as well. JP and Jay set here around the final 2 corners, only separated by a second here, and it looks like it is going to be JP just to edge Jay set out here for that 9th place finish, and Jay set here in 10th place. All drivers on the lead lap here today, goes to show at how good the race was here from our racers. Congratulations to T. Copeland, aka R.A. Streeter Tom, here for the race win. It comes all the way from the back of the pack as well. So a last to first race win there for Streeter Tom. But fastest lap is going to go to Dylan. So the bonus points going to Dylan there. And that soft tire strategy did pick him up a couple extra points there. So not all for nothing here today from a tough race there for Dylan. Great job there to all of our racers, and we are just going to scoop up that replay. We're going to save that replay, and then we're going to head to this guy right here. All right. So let's go. And jump in with our drivers. I'm just trying to somewhat move some things out of the way a little bit here. And Discord has decided that it's going to be fussy, so just bear with. Huh. All right. That always works. Just bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen. It'll just be a moment. Okay. Yes. Mic is working. Everything should be working. Okay. Perfect. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hear you guys, but I can, so we can rock and roll it. All right. So we may not see Jakey for the podium interviews. That's actually as per kind of normal because he's in the UK. It's super late there, and he's literally just raced like 3 hours of racing in a row in two different leagues, so he's probably a little tired. But we do have Streeter Tom here with us in the booth, so we'll start with Streeter Tom. And it's been a hit and miss season here for you this season. You've missed a couple of races. You've had a couple of races that haven't really gone your way, but you jumped in that Honda NSX that we haven't really seen ran barely at all, if at all, so far up to this point this season, and it turned out to be the car that stands on the top of the podium here this weekend. So the NSX looked very, very strong here today. And I guess the first question is, what made you choose the NSX for this race, and how was the race for you here today?
Kind of just winged it on which car to choose. I know it's got decent rotation, which it felt really nice in during this track. Um, Other than that, it was just patience. I messed up a handful of times. I was slowly watching Jake come up. Thankfully, by the time he did catch up to me, both of our tires were completely dead. So, I mean, it made it for an interesting finish. We were both messing up left and right at the end, but he had a good pace. But I was just trying to let the car survive. It was my first time actually really driving the NSX. I've heard good things about it, so I figured why not give it my third car, some random car I've never touched before. Because I think I only had maybe like 100 miles on it, if that. But yeah, no, it was a good race. Once I was able to clear through the pack, I was able to kind of have my own room and breathe a bit. And then I only really had to worry is when Jakey was slowly catching. But other than that, no, it was a good race.
And I mean, it was like you said, a lot of give and take. You know, you guys were both making your mistakes near the end of the race. Your tires are starting to wear down. The fuel's getting light on the car, and I mean, you both want to try and get that race win. You obviously, Jake being a teammate of yours, you know what kind of racer he is and what to expect from him. So I mean, how did that play on you over the last, say, 15 minutes when he was really starting to apply some pressure to you there at the end?
It's definitely stressing, especially Jakey's known to be quick and he's a very consistent driver. So I knew I had my work cut out for me. But I'm just glad I was able to take it home for the win.
Absolutely, and I mean, I guess any final remarks? And I'm able to find my earphones. May not be able to make interview. You're all good, Jake. No worries, my man. Any final remarks and any thank yous or shout outs you'd like to throw out there to the fans watching at home?
Always for Paul, and also for you Ghost teammates, for up from RA. Love all the support everybody does, especially for this league that's going on. Yeah, like you said, I don't make it much, but you know it's life. But I'm always trying to get here as much as I can just for Paul. So it's been a really fun league from the races that I have been.
Absolutely, and I mean, you're showing great pace all season long, and a great race win here for Streeter Tom today. Potentially one of his best races I've seen in quite some time, and can't wait to see what you have next weekend as we head to Road Atlanta, ladies and gentlemen. And I expect we're going to see some pretty full grids for Road Atlanta because it is definitely a racer's favorite here at GT45 Gaming. So, with that being said, are you looking forward to Road Atlanta? And I guess, are you going to make Road Atlanta?
Oh, I'm looking forward to Road Atlanta. It's one of my favorite tracks. I love the flow of it. Probably gonna go back to my good old Porsche too, so it'd make it even better, even harder for people.
Well, there you go. Tom looking for repeat wins here heading into round number 8 next weekend at Road Atlanta. But congratulations, great race win here for you, and thanks for being here. We appreciate the support.
Cheers, bud. Take care.
All right, we have our third place finisher here with us as well, ladies and gentlemen. We do have 1010 Sheriff Doofy now here in the comms booth with us. So welcome in, Sheriff. And, great race from you here today, too, as well. It's been a up and down season for you here. You've had your great moments, your not so great moments up and down the racetrack here. But this week, you really had a good, solid, consistent race. You put your head down and it paid off with a good, solid third place finish. Talk us through how your day was. He's there. Just give him a moment. You might need to tweak audio chat. We have this issue with the Discord server this year. I don't know what is going on with my server. Go to the very bottom. Go to your little cog wheel. And you probably just got to change your input and your output on the sound part of it, Sheriff. All right, well, we'll give Sheriff a minute to try and sort that out. In the meantime, we'll do what we do best and talk, because that's what we do. Again, you know what? Great race. We have seen some pretty good races from our pro division this season, but I think this Dragon Trail Gardens race was one of our best ones this season. We had literally green flag to checker flag action up and down through the whole field. There wasn't anywhere in the field where there wasn't something happening, somebody battling for position or a driver making a mistake, creating battles somewhere else. And there's our boy Sheriff. We just heard some noise coming in, so there he
Had my
is.
mic muted there.
All right, so we'll let Sheriff take over here again. Great race for me here today. Just to recap what we asked her earlier, it's been an up and down season for you. You've had some great moments, and you've had your not so great moments up and down these tracks this season. Coming to a very difficult racetrack, one that we don't see very often in championship racing, and have a really good, solid, consistent run here. You had a couple early moments on the track, but you put your head down and find yourself finishing in third place. So talk us through how your day was.
Uh, it was like I said, up and down. Kind of had my one moment early on in the race, but I, like I said, put the head down and just let the natural pace bring me back to the back of the lead pack. And then with a couple other mistakes or incidences up the road, gained a couple more positions there. Some of the Ferraris running out of gas right before the pit stops gave me two more positions, and just tried to limit the mistakes and manage the gap between the car behind.
Absolutely, and I think it was about the 20 minute point left of the race, or you had about 10 to 12 seconds to the podium, or to fourth place, second and first place, pardon me, up ahead of you, and you had about a 6 second gap to fourth place and behind you, which was Doug and that Audi, and then of course a couple of charging Ferraris back there. Now, knowing that Dylan obviously couldn't had to make an extra pit stop due to fuel, did you think that he was probably going to start on soft tires, and was that particular driver playing in the back of your mind as the last 20 minutes of race kind of started to unfold?
Well, watching him come in, like with especially with the time remaining, I knew he was going to be on softs and I knew he was going to be quick. So I was kind of expecting near the closing laps of the race for either him to be fighting with Doug or to be fighting with myself. I guess he was having more difficulty with ATB and Supra to get by them before he could make his way to us, which in my favor because my mediums were dying of death by the end of it, and we were just trying to just be consistent and keep Doug no closer than 5 seconds, which with time running out, just starting to take less risks on the pace side of things and just manage the car and bring that home.
Absolutely, and I mean, like I said, great race here. So that leaves us with 3 weekends of racing left before we start to crown our divisional champions and our overall champion. And once we get our points all sorted out here for this week's round of racing, I mean, I guess, is it just race by race kind of mentality for you heading towards the last 3 rounds of racing, or is there a goal? Is there a desire that you have leading into the chase for the championship here?
Uh, I mean, goal race by race would definitely be just to finish as far up on in the leaderboard as possible. But with mistakes or incidences, obviously that's not necessarily doable every single time. But I'm hoping to just take it race by race and then let hopefully let my consistency and keeping it clean take me towards the forefront of that chase and pack.
That sounded like a safe answer, chat. Just gonna say, but nonetheless, very very well said. I mean that's really all we could do, I guess, as sim racers is take it race by race. We all would like to win, and we'd like to win championships, obviously. But sometimes as season progresses, that might not be within reach anymore. But we still have to set those little goals for ourselves. So it's good to hear that our racers are still setting those goals for themselves. Not saying the Sheriff is out of the chase for the championship by any stretch of the imagination. Anything can happen over 3 more weeks of racing yet. But just saying in general, it's always good to set little goals for yourself if you're potentially out of that fight for that big bragging rights position in the championship. But with that being said, as I continue to ramble on, we'll leave the floor to Sheriff for any final remarks and shout outs and thank yous he'd like to throw out to the viewers watching at home.
No, just thank you to the teammates week in, week out. You yourself putting this on for us, and then all the viewers watching.
Absolutely. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to donate today. The link is in the pinned comment in the YouTube channel. And these racers have been coming here, putting in their hearts and souls for this championship, spending hours in the paint booths, coming up with the perfect design for their next round of racing to show the kids over there, to hopefully put a smile on the kids to help them heal a little bit better over at St. Jude Children's Hospital. So make sure to donate today. And if you can't donate, most importantly, share this out for us. Take that link and share it out to everybody you know, because St. Jude's is doing great things for the world. Appreciate you, Sheriff. We appreciate the racers. Thank you from GT45 Gaming. And, well, Road Atlanta takes us into round number 8, and that is going to be a very fantastic race. The grid loves Road Atlanta here at GT45 Gaming, and I think we are going to see potentially the best race of the season coming in next weekend's round, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Tell your friends, get them here. We want to see all in chat. Let's blow this thing wide open. Remember, you all matter. Stay winning. And we'll see you next Sunday for Road Atlanta here from the Vegas Cup Series and GT45 Gaming and No Lander Gaming. Appreciate all the support. Ciao for now.
I've got that lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh, just you watch. I'm stepping into fate. There is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I'm cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit. Step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle. This is how